Salam aleikum. Welcome back to another video. Today's topic, as you can see by the thumbnail and the whatever, is people should stop dating. It's a bit of an interesting take, but I wanted to just kind of explain my thought process here with a lot of the things that we've been seeing in society. People are more lonely than ever, and many things cause it. Maybe you don't have the income to support being in a relationship. Maybe you don't have the skills to be able to be in a relationship with someone. Um, a lot of stats are showcasing people are lonelier than ever, and people will try and get into relationships in order to fill that void, or that feeling that you need to have a partner, or someone that you can lean on in times of need. But I find that interesting. And why is because maybe that time that you were alone, you're really meant to learn about yourself. And that's the whole premise that I'm going to come and explain in this video. That maybe we should stop dating for a bit of time. Maybe people should stop trying to get into relationships and instead fix the relationship within and with themselves. There's something that I think that is a very toxic thing, which is, let's say you did get out of a relationship, the first thing in your mind is to get into another one and another one if that one also failed. You don't actually get time to be on your own, and that's not good, because hey, there's so many people out there, so why not? But as someone who's been in a couple relationships, I'd say that the time that I've spent on my own have actually been really, really useful. I've gotten really closer with myself, closer with my religion, and just understood exactly why it's probably best to be on your own for a bit of time in your life in order to figure out who you really are and what you want to do. But as the younger generation gets older, and all these, topics are discussed of loneliness, and there's a dating epidemic, all these sorts of things. I think it's what it really is gearing young minds to seek each other out more. But maybe that's actually the problem. Maybe the problem is that we are seeking each other too often. And the problem might be we're not seeking each other out in a more natural setting. So again, I made a video about lust and prawn and all those sorts of things. There's something that's going on in this generation, especially, that is destroying our idea of intimacy, of a relationship with the other party. So I would really, really stress for the younger generation, take your time. Don't jump into relationships. People think that just being able to talk to a girl is a problem or hard for them. That in and of itself is something that you should just look into for yourself, not even to get into a relationship. Just talk to people. I want to say this very delicately because I want to ensure that I don't offend anyone. You don't have to get a girlfriend. Like, you don't have to be in a relationship. These things that, your friend groups might tell you, don't just listen to it and then take it as if that is what I need to do. Neither should you hear what a random person on the internet is trying to tell you. Everything that I say, you take with a grain of salt and you think for yourself. All I'm doing is trying to set something up so you can kind of understand why I might be saying it, and then at the end of the day, you make the decision that best suits you. So yeah, the premise is people should stop dating. People should really start to stop dating each other. I think I don't have any data, no stats, nothing. Most times people break each other's hearts, and then that would actually lead to another person who's trying to date that person to date someone who's gone through a lot of hardship. Maybe, hypothesis, maybe if people didn't date each other for maybe a year, maybe, I don't know, 6 to 12 months, let's do a controlled time period. Maybe people actually worked on themselves. Maybe actually people looked at their own character, how they actually operate, how they interact with the world around them. And maybe they actually start to take inventory over what parts of them, if they were in a relationship, would actually create more harm than good. Like the amount of self awareness it takes to be in a relationship, especially in a healthy relationship, is massive. Take it from someone who's been in a bad relationship, one in which it was either not a healthy one and one that was. I was in both, and I can clearly understand what was the bad and good in each. So I'm telling you, take your time. This whole time thing is interesting in and of itself. I think people want to rush into something based off of the first person that they see. That is a mistake as well. Take your time. Meet people not because you want to be in a relationship with them, but because you want to understand who they are as a person. That will actually allow you to then take inventory of if this person is who you're looking for. And for younger people, especially who have not had any dating experience, you're going into this blind. So taking your time actually allows you to be smart. Listen to your friends and the stories that they give you, horror or good. Think about it. Hear the good and the bad that they have to explain in their relationships, and then you start to think for yourself, well, is that really what I want? Is that who I want? Is that the type of character in the individual that I would like to date to have? All these things you really have to start thinking about very, very deeply. And I will just say this honestly, there is nothing wrong with being alone. Where the wrong comes is you view yourself in this way of, let's say, some people in this, especially post pandemic, they have self isolated themselves. Um, and this is not to do with any, they don't have nothing. This is an people's, right? Individual peoples who have just completely cut themselves off from others. That's depression. That is a mental illness, or some sort of it at least. That is something that we as a greater society and a community have to be more aware of, especially with suicide rates going up, they're not going down, and especially with our social media addiction and consumption, and then with all the things that are going on in the world, people might just tend to isolate themselves even further. But what I'm really saying is you are purposefully taking the time to understand that being on your own is not a bad thing. Having friends and communicating with them and keeping a healthy relationship is a good thing. I'm not saying all of a sudden you have to cut off every single person in your life. Being alone is being able to understand that you yourself have to understand how to live with yourself. I want to make I'll make another video on how to live with yourself, because this is something that's very difficult. Um, because people really do judge themselves, and this is based off of what others say to them about them, or what others say about other people. But really, their mind, again, your mind is this, it's a very, it's interesting. It makes connections where there might not even be a connection, but it makes connections. So you might be inferring when someone is speaking of another individual, your brain allows you to make the connection that maybe they're talking about you. It's weird. So I would really recommend tuning into that video, because some of the things that I'll discuss is it's okay to be alone with yourself, to figure out who you are, away from everything, away from your friends, away from your family, who you are. What do you like? What do you want to do with yourself? How do you see yourself? There's so many things that, I'm not joking. You are special. You are, and to know yourself it's beautiful. I will tell you that honestly, it is beautiful. And I am on that journey. I have really learned I have really learned about myself for these past 2 years specifically. I have learned more about myself in these past 2 years than I have in my entire life. And I'm proud of myself for the strides that I have made to understand myself. And it took time to be alone. So take time away from dating, because seeking companionship, seeking intimacy, that's also a sign of an individual who has maybe some problems. I think a video on YouTube, it was titled, "If you're seeking intimacy or a partner, you might have a purpose problem." It's something along the lines of, if you're always seeking a relationship and you're always seeking a partner, you might not have a purpose in your life. So you are just seeking, you're just seeking someone. You're just not even doing it well, you're doing it consciously, but you don't understand that seeking someone is in and of itself a huge task to undertake. So you might not have anything else going for you in your life that you are now thinking it's probably best to get into a relationship. That's a sign of someone who's not able to have anything else for them. It's not something simple to just simply say, and I will probably speak about that in another video, but take your time, don't get into relationships yet. And I'm specifically saying for this generation, take your time. I'm being very serious. There's a lot of weird people now in our world. So take care of yourself, okay? Love you guys. Take care.